I've been around farming my whole life. My grandfather was a farmer. My family is known for making exquisite white liquor. I'm from the hills of East Tennessee. My family left there when the government took them over. They moved about 100 yards out of the border of the Cherokee National Forest. I've been helping farmers for years. I've driven every piece of equipment you can imagine on a farm, from cotton pickers to combines to some of the biggest split belly tractors on the planet. Right now I'm in the business of producing artisanal hemp here on Spirit Oak Farm, a farm named after this incredible tree we're standing under. We put about 11,000 hemp plants in the ground in June and July, hoping to harvest at least half of them. We're losing about half our crop due to the lack of a well drilling permit in a timely fashion, so we've had a little legal issue with the Water Quality Control Board of this county, but we finally got a well permit. We'll have a well pumping soon. We'll be set for next year for sure. In 2015, I heard that Tennessee was going to have a pilot program to produce hemp, and I signed up. I was one of the first 49 people in the state to get a license. It was quite intimidating. You had to agree to give every government agency that wanted to permission to come to your plot and search it at any time, to take specimens, whatever. They were not very, the Department of Agriculture was not very, they didn't try to guide people into the process. They tried to tell you all the dangers more than anything else. I've been farming hemp since 2015. I'm a fifth-year licensed hemp producer in the great state of Tennessee, and there ain't 25 people that can say that are alive.
Did Tennessee require you to start with seeds in 2015?
Oh yeah, for the first 3 years we had to grow card certified seed oil or fiber varieties. There was zero market value to them. There was no infrastructure, nobody willing to process it. The farmers I grew alongside of had enough money that they bought a $40,000 cold press, and we were the only two farmers in Tennessee the first year to produce enough seed oil seeds to cold press them and make our own hemp seed oil. We got about a gallon. We spent about $275,000 for a gallon of hemp seed oil, and that would retail at about $700 at Whole Foods. You know, I have an LLC. It's called Chickasaw Bluffs Dements. Dements is an obscure word that means farm set aside for breeding purposes. Cannabis genetics are one of my biggest interests, and that will end up being the end result of all this. We'll have a greenhouse set up so that I'll supply my own clones for next year. I do cannabis consulting, essentially, and this farm is part of that whole paradigm. I'm partners with a couple of really nice guys in a partnership called Spirit Oak Farms. And at the end of the day, it's all about the hemp. We're producing artisanal hemp for the smoking market, but we will also offer our own line of quality, top shelf CBD extract, whole plant extract, CO2 extracted by the only USDA certified organic extractor in the state. Long story short, this farm is a family-owned farm. The man that owns it, he got it from his dad. He got it from his dad. His first cousin lives next door. We are going to promote this farm and the farm right down the road for agritourism. Until the drought hit this year, we had one of the most beautiful plots anywhere on the planet. It's still quite visually appealing, but at the end of the day, it ain't what it will be this time next year. This farm is named after this incredible tree, Spirit Oak. It's the largest black oak in West Tennessee and the second largest in the state, according to the score. According to the height and width, this is the largest black oak in the whole state of Tennessee. That car you see behind me back there is a 49 Buick owned by cousin Tom. He learned to drive in that car, so it's been in the family forever. That barn back there was used to feed cows for 60 years, and there's still feed troughs in there. This farm has a spring-fed beaver pond that we drew water out of until we were critically close to killing the pond. So we had to switch and start using water out of the fire hydrant because we only last week got awarded a well drilling permit after a lengthy 6-month legal battle with the Water Quality Control Board of Shelby County. 3 miles from here, one of my friends had a gang of 8 people dropped off in the middle of the night. They knew people would be coming, so they were there with thermal imaging night vision scopes. They saw 8 people come out. One guy ran out there to confront them. They saw him coming and opened fire. Long story short, to be in the hemp business now, you pretty much have to be willing to fight with guns to keep your product. If you're not thinking ahead. I never thought I'd have to wear guns to work, but I'll be damned if somebody's going to come here and steal my crop and shoot at me without getting some firepower shot back in their direction. I ain't going out like that. You know, my plot in Montford has been robbed. They caught the guy within 15 minutes of him leaving the scene with a trunk full of my hemp. I guess people are buying this stuff off the street thinking it's real cannabis and not getting high, but there's people stealing hemp all over the country right now. A lot of it is just teenagers, you know, having fun, but a lot of it's organized criminals coming to take somebody's hard-earned work and turn it into an illegal profit on the streets. If you get caught selling hemp and you're not a licensed hemp producer, you're not only guilty of selling cannabis according to the government, but you're guilty of selling fake cannabis. And so you get 2 felonies. It's become an issue. I got friends with armed guards with M16s and thermal imaging devices, and hell, I'm packing 2 guns at a time now just so I don't have to reload in case I get in a firefight. Where do I see my future in the hemp industry? I firmly believe that by this time next year I will have carved out a niche in this market, much like a craft brewery. We are producing some of the finest hemp available anywhere on the planet here. We're using all organic inputs. I spent more money on probiotics than I did nutrients. And I firmly believe in the products I'm using. I'm using Humboldt nutrients straight from Humboldt, California. They were sent here on a train because it's cheaper to ship 4,000-pound containers on a train than any other way. I'm also using probiotics that are created by a company called Phytosciences out of Canada. All this stuff is either OMRI or internationally certified organic. The probiotics allow the plants to uptake nutrients. They increase your yield, they decrease your use of nutrients, and the company claims that after 2 years of using their products and broadcast spraying this plot, the dirt will go back to 100% live organic soil, whereby this farm has been out of production for about 50 years, but it used to produce cotton and corn. It's had cows on it and hay since then, and we're taking this farm back to nature.